Hey guys, I'm really sorry to do this, but we got to talk about Prince Andrew, who has brought fresh shame to his family with the most recent scandal, which apparently a biographer said it's more damaging than Epstein. Well, that was revealing. Be clear, it's not great. Not great when an article has to come out that says that you have ceased all contact with an alleged Chinese spy. According to the BBC, Yang Tenbo has been named as the alleged spy. What they said is that he gained a, quote, unusual degree of trust with the Duke of York. Is it really that unusual when it comes to Prince Andrew, king of dubious characters? This is the man that said he had cut ties with his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein and then was photographed leaving his New York City home and just strolling around the park with Epstein. This is foolishness. Let's take a look at some of the coverage. Let's talk about Hello Magazine. They are unusual because they actually have a Royal Rota representative, and it is very hard to get into the Royal Rota. Typically, you need to be a newspaper or a tabloid that has hard copy circulation in the UK. Headline: real reason Prince Andrew is fighting King Charles to keep Royal Lodge, because he's an entitled squatter. The king no longer has financial ties to his brother. Except, we don't know that. These stories started popping up that King Charles had cut off his brother back in November of 2024 because of a royal book. And the piece itself says that, quote, citing an insider source, Robert writes in an updated version of his biography, Charles III, New King, New Court, The Inside Story, the Duke is no longer a financial burden on the king, confirms one familiar with the situation. And it's citing an insider source. We don't know who this is. There is no attempt to get clarification from Buckingham Palace on this. There have been a ton of stories about King Charles potentially cutting off the Duke of York financially, and that, wouldn't you know it, Prince Andrew just found funds to stay at the Royal Lodge. It's incredible. This is from the Times UK, so this is a serious outlet. The Duke of York has convinced palace authorities he has sufficient cash from legitimate sources to pay for his own upkeep. What? Oh, really? You just have to convince someone that. I feel like there's an easier way to actually see if the sources are legitimate. I don't know. Just spitballing here. Financial records? Journalist Peter Hunt tweeted about this and correctly called out that the palace seems to be passing responsibility when it comes to who is in charge of vetting Prince Andrew's finances. Because it seems like the guy that would be most vulnerable to financial entanglements with unsavory people out of desperation, and we know that because it's happened before. That will be the next video. Seems like that's the guy that you really want to make sure you dot all your I's and cross all your T's. Basically, Buckingham Palace was like, listen, the Duke's income, tax arrangements, that's a matter for him and the HM Revenue and Customs. I don't know. It seems like the literal king, could have some say in that. But the key is to keep the palace separate from Prince Andrew. The thing with Prince Andrew is that he is an amalgamation of everything bad about the British royal family. All of the things that they want to keep hidden behind the curtain. A lack of financial transparency, and one that seems particularly bad given his history. Allegations of SA. But even beyond what he's done, Prince Andrew shines an uncomfortable, disturbing light on the way that the British monarchy will circle the wagons around him, the Queen's favorite son, and not Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. Prince Andrew wasn't proactively stripped of his patronages and military titles. It took pressure from institutions and the public for that to happen. And what I can't stop thinking about is if one of the accusations that is hurled at Meghan is that she was unwilling to bend to the monarchy's rules to ingratiate herself, then what should we make of Prince Andrew's behavior and how it's been handled? Stay tuned for more.